Yeah, she'll be here. We're going to start. Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order for the meeting of the Board of Education, November 19th, 2025, at 6:30 p.m. in the boardroom of the Administration Building at 70 Conover Road, Colts Neck, New Jersey. Mr. Marasco, can I please have a roll call?
My microphone is on. Mrs. Camera.
Here.
Mrs. Horowitz.
Here.
Mr. Arrico.
Here.
Mrs. Ramirez. Mr. Rodnetta
Yes.
is participating remotely and is acknowledged. He is present. Mr. Scales.
Here.
Mr. Scarpa. Mrs. Volpe.
Here.
Mr. Walsh.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, this meeting has been duly advertised in the Asbury Park Press in a schedule of meetings dated January 16th, 2025, March 4th, 2025, notice of which has been filed with the Deputy Clerk for the Colts Neck Township, and the requirements of posting of notices have been met. If we can rise for the flag salute and stand for the national anthem. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are going to get started. I'd like to get a motion to move the minutes from October 7th, the two meetings from October 7th and one on October 15th. I'm sorry. Can we recognize Mrs. Ramirez? She just arrived.
Yes.
Motion.
Second.
Anybody have any questions or comments on those meeting minutes? Okay, seeing none, if I could get a roll call.
Yes, on the minutes. Mrs. Camera.
Yes.
Mrs. Horowitz.
Yes.
Mr. Arrico.
Yes.
Seeing Mrs. Ramirez is here. Mrs. Ramirez.
Yes for the October 7th Committee of the Whole meeting minutes, and yes for the October 15th regular meeting minutes. But I was remote for the October 7th meeting, so I was not present for the executive session, therefore I need to abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Rodnetta.
Yes.
Mr. Scales.
Yes.
Mr. Scarpa. Take that back. Mrs. Volpe.
Yes.
And Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion did carry.
Okay, great, thank you. We are going to move right into, we have a very special presentation this evening. We are honoring several students who did a fantastic job with a perfect score on the NJSLA testing, which is a remarkable achievement. So this board wants to give your full attention to Dr. Garibay as she presents these awards to our fine students tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, President Volpe, members of the Board of Education, and friends and family who have come here this evening. Tonight, we have the absolute privilege of recognizing an exceptional group of 11 outstanding learners from the Colts Neck Township Schools who earned perfect scores on the 2025 Spring NJSLA assessment. Let's give them a round of applause first. We'll do that right. Achieving a perfect score is an extraordinary accomplishment. It means that a student has demonstrated the highest possible level of mastery on a demanding, standards-aligned assessment designed to measure deep understanding, critical thinking, and readiness for future academic challenges. To appreciate the magnitude of this achievement, it is important to understand what these assessments entail. In English language arts, the ELA assessment measures a student's ability to read and comprehend a range of grade-appropriate texts, synthesize ideas, and write effectively when using and analyzing resources. In mathematics, the mathematics assessments evaluate students' competencies in major and supporting grade-level content, mathematical reasoning, and the ability to model and solve real-world problems. Some students enrolled in specific high school math courses like algebra or geometry may even take the corresponding high school assessment in place of their grade-level test. To earn a perfect score across these rigorous components is a reflection not only of exceptional academic ability, but of perseverance, curiosity, and a commitment to excellence. So without further ado, I would love to recognize our students who earned our perfect scores. So we have some who are actually moved on to their high schools and are coming back to celebrate their accomplishments in 8th grade with us. So first, I would like to bring up, we'll do our ELA perfect score achievers. So first, now a 9th grader who earned a perfect score of an 850 on 8th grade ELA, Miss Kayla Berkner. Also in 8th grade, now a 9th grader, Miss Solana Colomer. Also in 9th grade, but in 8th grade, Victoria Franco Hernandez, who isn't with us tonight. Also 8th grade, now a 9th grader, Autumn Reineck, who is not with us tonight. Current 8th grader, but in 7th grade, who also couldn't be here with us tonight, Miss Sophia Boucher. In 6th grade, now 7th grader, Zachary Dunn. Now 8th grader, but in 7th grade, perfect score in ELA, Daniel Shapiro. First-time test takers, now in 4th grade, who earned perfect scores in 3rd grade, Charlotte L. Delati. Another 3rd grader, first-time test taker, now in 4th grade, Gabriella Kozix. And in 4th grade ELA, who now a 5th grader, Kyle Nicholson. Okay. Moving on to our mathematics. We had 2 mathematics students, both middle schoolers, who earned perfect scores in mathematics. 7th grader, you heard this name before, now in 8th grade, 7th grade math pre-algebra, Sophia Boucher, who could not be here with us. Also not able to be here with us this evening, but so worthy of recognition, 8th grader in 7th grade who completed advanced algebra and took the high school algebra assessment, Mr. Daniel Shapiro. To our 11 honorees, whether you're here with us tonight or listening from home, we are so proud of you. Your achievement brings pride to our schools, your families, and the entire Colts Neck community. You remind us what can be accomplished through hard work, perseverance, and a love of learning. Congratulations to each of you on this remarkable, remarkable accomplishment. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to reiterate and echo the same sentiments as Dr. Garibay. We are extremely proud of you. You make our district shine. And I just want to point out our principals are here today too. Mr. Osmond and Dr. Rigby, they work so hard in leading both of our campuses, and we appreciate all your dedication you give to our kids. This is the moment we live for in this district. So I want to express our sentiment from the board that we appreciate you very much, and thank you for all that you do. Yes, sure. We're going to go right into our student liaisons. I'd like everybody to stay for that. It won't be too long, and then we will go into a recess, and those of you that want to leave at that time, you may do so. So do you want to start with Mrs. Herlin or Emmanuel, or? Whoever wants to. Yeah, whoever would like to go up first. These are our students, just for the public who doesn't normally attend our meetings. We put in a student liaison program last year, and yeah, come on up. Yep, you could put the mic on. And these young ladies are student liaisons in our district, and what they do is they report out what goes on and certain ideas that they bring forth to the board. We listen, and then we try to help them achieve their initiatives. So if you want to start, you may do so.
Hello, I am an 8th grader in the Cedar Drive. I had the opportunity to meet with Dr. Rigby and Dr. Garibay on Monday to discuss my ideas regarding the destruction of computers. I shared my ideas of having a mid-year computer check-in. During the meeting, we came up with the idea of having Mr. Toscano visit each of the 24 homerooms to check over each computer. We will still need to check in with him about this, though. We also came with the idea of emailing the parents about this situation. At this time, 2 students have already been fined.
Wow, that's excellent. We appreciate the report back. I know that just for the public, we're facing in our district, we have, computers that cost about $300. And a lot of times, we do get students that, tend to destroy their computers in some fashion. And, Kira brought it up at a meeting with me and Dr. Rigby about how we can combat this to save money for our district, preserve our technology, and she's doing a fantastic job representing the student body and seeing how we could improve in this particular aspect. So thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we will not be spending $30,000. That's what it costs our district, $30,000 to repair broken or vandalized computers. So with this initiative, thanks to Kira's motivation to save money for our district where we could use those funds elsewhere. So we are so proud of you for bringing this forth to the board. Thank you so much. It's exceptional. Yes. Thank you. Mrs. Emmanuel Diener, yep, you're up next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm back with 2 new ideas for you guys tonight. First up, I was being told by a lot of students that there should be a time where students and staff can get snacks in the school, not during lunchtime. You see, a lot of people stay after school and some don't have a snack to eat, which makes people very hungry in the afternoon. That results in kids taking their peers' unwanted snacks. Having the school store or some way to be able to buy more food will be a benefit to all. There will be all sorts of food like chips or healthy options like carrot and celery sticks. And we would be sure to include some snacks for students that have allergies. But you may be wondering, why can't they just bring an extra snack from home? Well, some students don't have enough snacks to bring an extra one, or will eat them all at lunch. And some may not be able to buy a snack in the lunchroom for later in the day. There is one more concern. We cannot sell this food during lunch periods when the cafeteria is open. However, we can make sure that that all food outside of the cafeteria is off limits for the day, and then after school, students that are staying for an activity can go and grab a bag of chips or a packet of celery sticks or any snack that their heart desires. That way that we're not selling food during the time when the cafeteria is open. Another concern that I have is about the music department. Every year we have our advanced choir, Colt and Jazz Band Poinsettia fundraiser. The funds that each student makes goes towards their final payment for the trip to Hershey Park. The more money the students make, the less their parents have to pay. There is, however, a large population of students who cannot sell poinsettias due to the fact that they don't hang up wreaths or poinsettias due to them being more related to Christmas. That means that they can't sell them and they don't make any money that goes towards their trip fund. So I propose that there can be a poinsettia fundraiser and maybe another fundraiser for like chocolate or cookies or anything that the other students that can partake in the poinsettia and wreath fundraiser can sell. Meaning that there would be two fundraisers. I understand that having two fundraisers would be harder to manage, but I also, but I find it that some students feel left out because they can't sell anything. Like my family's Jewish, and we don't buy poinsettias because we don't celebrate the holiday. And although there are blue and gold wreaths, they still coincide with Christmas. We can come up with another fundraiser to help the other population of students fundraise for their trip that they can partake in. Chocolate, cookies, anything, you name it. The possibilities are endless. But the main goal for this is to make sure that everyone feels included. I know a lot of students who can partake in this fundraiser, and I feel that they need to be recognized and that there's another fundraiser that they can do. I just want to say congratulations to everybody that got a perfect score on the NGSLA. Huge achievement. Congratulations. That's all I have for you today. Thank you and have a great night, everybody.
Mrs. Diener, I just want to ask a question, if I may. If you could just bring me up to speed. So for the Hershey trip, there was no prior fundraiser for the students, correct? Is that what I got? Or there was, and you're just looking to incorporate this new idea?
Yes.
Okay.
There was already a prior poinsettia and wreath fundraiser.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's what I heard. Okay, great. That's a great idea that you're incorporating different aspects, different people who have observed different holidays, and to include them in this. So I thought that was an exceptional idea. So we certainly would love to revisit this, you know, and I know the class trip isn't until May, right? So we have a lot of time to think about it, but I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think we should, you know, we can move forward, and I'm sure with the help of Dr. Rigby, we can establish something where we can get, you know, sell, you know, appropriate stuff for different people in our district. So thank you so much for bringing it forth. Yeah.
I love this idea of an additional fundraiser, and I did want to ask too, I do believe that there are like Chipotle fundraisers as well.
So
There's
there,
like dine out fundraisers,
so
is that
there,
correct? Yes.
I believe we may be doing another fundraiser like that, but I'm not fully sure. But that's not. Sorry, I'm blanking.
It's okay.
But I was thinking to do like another separate, or not separate fundraiser, but a co-fundraiser for the students, so that way they can like practice like public speaking skills and like good salesmanship and like sell other things, not just poinsettias, because some of them
Right.
can't sell
No, I love
poinsettias.
the
Yeah.
entrepreneurial
Yeah,
aspect,
I
but
do,
I just wanted
yeah.
to make sure I
Yeah.
was right about the Chipotle as well, and great. I love adding to what we already do, so thank you.
Does anybody on the board have any questions for our two liaisons for either initiative? No? Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mrs. Diener. I just wanted, while I have the attention of those families that are here with your children, we will be sending out, a survey or a questionnaire about who would like to be liaisons for this coming year. So keep this in mind. If your children would like to join our liaisons, our current liaisons, Dr. Garibay will be putting out that questionnaire or volunteer form, and we're looking forward to get a total of 9 board liaisons. So 9 of us and corresponding 9 student liaisons. So keep that in mind, spread the word. We're looking to recruit some new faces on our liaison board. And thank you very much, ladies. Excellent job. Thank you. Yep. At this time, we're going to take 5 minutes. If those families would like to leave, they could do so at this time. If you want to join the rest of the meeting, you're welcome to do so. But we're going to take a quick 5-minute recess.
President, can we have the kids take pictures?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Hold on. Guys, if anybody wants pictures, you can do so now. You could ask. We could do pictures.
Keep us posted when they're performing. See it. Absolutely.
That's what I mean. I wasn't. Okay. I understand. Yeah. We actually did for the Stoke trip. You were on the Stoke trip. We did the triplets, and that was excellent. I did it all with Giovanna got to. It wasn't. So okay. So we got to move on this.
Next year.
Well, when's the because it's really listen,
I think it
I'm an advocate. We don't want anything to happen. It may not be chocolates with the labels of our school, but you could go to Costco or Sam's and get those big bars and still get the same finished outcome, you know?
I think it ends on
Okay, we're going to be starting in about 1 minute. Okay, we're all good to start, everybody? All right, we're going to resume at this time. We are going to take a look. We have several actually quite a few communications. If anybody wants to take a quick look at that, you're welcome to do so. I just want to make a comment on the communications. There's a considerable amount of them. I made a commitment when I became president to answer every communication that came through this district. I will certainly be doing that. I do not think I'm going to make the 24-hour time frame that I committed in January, but I am going to do my best, and if I need be, I will tap part of this board to help me respond to some of these communications to make sure that everybody's voice was heard. Moving on, we're going to go right into my president's report. Okay. All right, good evening, everybody, once again. Our district has been incredibly busy over the past couple of weeks, and I'd like to take a moment to highlight some of the meaningful events and accomplishments happening across our schools. On November 11th, I had the honor of speaking at the Veterans Day community event at CDMS and welcoming our veterans. Mrs. Camera and Mr. Scarpa joined me, along with many members of our community. CDMS did a fantastic job organizing a thoughtful and heartfelt ceremony. Thank you to Dr. Garibay, Dr. Rigby, our administration staff, and especially our students who did a phenomenal job expressing their gratitude to the men and women who serve in our military. So thank you very much. As we discussed at our last meeting, the board is extremely proud that all 3 of our district campuses have achieved Purple Star School status. This is an exceptional honor that recognizes our commitment to supporting military-connected students and families. I want to once again thank our administration and staff who worked tirelessly to put our military families first. Mrs. Camera and I were thrilled to see Dr. Garibay and her team recognized for this fantastic, significant achievement. So thank you for all that you do. All right. Earlier today, I had the pleasure of attending our first Tunnel to Towers assembly at Cedar Drive Middle School. With the board's full support and the help of Dr. Garibay, we have successfully incorporated the Tunnel to Towers curriculum into our district. We were honored to welcome our guest, Anthony Reinhardt, the speaker who shared his powerful firsthand account of the tragic events of September 11th and the heroic efforts of everyday men and women, including the police and fire departments of New York City. It was a profoundly moving assembly, and I'm confident that this program will continue in our district for many years to come. I want to shout out special thanks to the Tunnel to Towers organization for all that they do, and for Mr. Reinhardt for sharing his experience with our kids. I also like to thank Anthony Buffalano. He is a resident of Colts Neck. He serves on the board to Tunnel to Towers, and he does an exceptional job donating his time, raising money for the families affected by that horrific tragedy. So thank you. As discussed at our last COW meeting, our bus armed camera program initiative by Mr. Walsh has so far been a huge success. I've reached out to Mayor Buss respectfully, requesting that revenue generated from our initiative be reimbursed back to the district, specifically the estimated $14,000 to purchase the cameras. I would also like to see some continued revenue put back into our district for future safety and security measures. I am currently awaiting her response. I'll report back once I receive that. Lastly, we will be opening back our Advocacy and Government Relations Ad Hoc Committee. I'm excited that we'll be revisiting that, and I will expand on that later during my advocacy report. That concludes my president's report for this week. We are going to move right into the board liaison reports. We're going to start with Mrs. Horowitz with the Parent Advisory Committee. Yep, no problem.
we held 2 successful PAC meetings focused on student use of the district-issued devices. Dr. Garibay reiterated that this remains an important parent concern and highlighted the district's commitment to transparency and balanced technology use as reflected in our district goals. She also noted that teacher perspective will be incorporated into this ongoing work. Parents received a high-level overview during both sessions about the district's cybersecurity and content filtering measures with documentation provided by Mr. Petrillo. Dr. Garibay also announced plans to pilot a parent app, which offers families greater insight and control into device activity. We will also have more information and details as that continues to be finalized. Additionally, to strengthen communication, the district will launch a PAC questions and concern form for families, as well as collect teacher input for classroom device use, which we'll be able to share at future meetings.
Great. Thank you so much. You could roll right into the PTO if you don't mind.
Yep. So yesterday was a color run. It looked like a great event, and I just want to thank the PTO and everyone involved for making it such a success. The elementary school store will be November 24th and 25th. The School Spirit Holiday Pop-Up Shop closes tomorrow, so make sure you get your orders in. The Shake Shack Donation Day is going to be November 25th from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the location in Eatontown. Frosty's Holiday Shop is Saturday, December 6th. The PTO's general meeting will be December 10th at 9:30 in the admin building. And last but not least, the 8th grade breakfast will be Tuesday, December 23rd. That's it.
Great. A lot of good things coming up. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Comments? Okay. All right, moving right into the Colts Township School newsletter. Mrs. Camera.
Okay, our next newsletter will be distributed before winter break. It's going to feature today's Tunnel for Towers assembly, as well as this Thursday's veteran recognition, in addition to everything else that's been going on since the last one.
Great. Excellent. Looking forward to seeing that edition. The Colts Township School Arts, Sports, and Extracurricular Activities. Mr. Agneta is participating virtual, so he will do his report.
Yes, just that the rec basketball for pre-K to 8th grade is the sign-up is still going on for the Colts Sports Foundation. Unfortunately, early bird sign-up has now passed. So sign up now for each child is $245 for the season. The season starts Saturday, December 13th. So if you're interested in having your child, or if they're interested in playing, please sign up for that. Go to your team staff to sign up, or go to coltssportsfoundation.com for more information. And also tonight is the Colts Sports Foundation board members their votes, the election. So I just wanted to say thanks to all who put their hat in the ring to be involved in the Colts Sports Foundation, and congratulations to everyone who will be winning, and we look forward to a very successful 2026. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Agneta. I appreciate the update. Moving back to Mrs. Camera for the Colts Township Committee.
Okay, the most recent Township Committee meeting was held on Wednesday, November 12th, which I listened to via live stream. The PAC meeting opened with a moment of silence in memory of veteran Andrew Latano, who served in the United States Army. He was a man of deep faith, a devoted parishioner at St. Mary's Church, an active community volunteer, and a longtime member of the Colts Neck Lions Club. His work helped bring braille trails and sensory playgrounds to local parks, reflecting his lifelong commitment to inclusion and service. Councilman Buzetta, Councilman Viola, and Mayor Buss reminded residents that all agendas and resolutions are posted on the Township website, and they highlighted Resolution 2025-190, urging the New Jersey State Legislature to defeat S4736. So what is S4736? So it's a bill introduced in the New Jersey State Legislature. The main purpose, it would allow certain properties owned by religious or nonprofit organizations, for example, churches or tax-exempt organizations, to be converted into inclusionary developments with affordable housing units. So under the bill, these conversions would become a permitted use, meaning that the municipal zoning, the land use board, would have to allow them if they meet certain requirements. So the bill is seen by the Colts Neck Committee as preempting local zoning control because it limits the ability of towns to say no to such conversions if they meet the bill's criteria. So the resolution, 2025-190, why it really matters. The township's asking the state legislator to defeat the bill. The township is saying we do not want the state to pass this bill because it would limit our local control over zoning and land use decisions. And the resolution expresses a position that local municipal zoning laws should not be overridden by statewide mandates in this way. So S4736 is the bill. The resolution is 2025-190, the local stance opposing it. So what they're asking for residents to do is to consider writing to Senator Gopal, our assemblywoman, opposing the bill. I personally support the resolution because if the bill is passed, it's going to affect traffic, school capacity, infrastructure, neighborhood character, etc. Then the Board of Ed got a round of applause. They very nicely, Councilman Buzetta congratulated all of us, our 3 township schools being named Purple Star schools. He also recognized the successful installation of the school bus cameras under Mr. Walsh's leadership. We already have 10 violations. The penalty is $250 and 5 points. So it's a deterrent, but most importantly, we care about student safety. There was an update on affordable housing, which I will let Rob probably talk more about. Councilwoman Sue Fitzpatrick talked about the Cedar Drive Middle School Veterans Day event. And once again, we want to thank the Women's Club for donating all the food as well as their time. Councilman Fitzpatrick also noted on efforts to preserve farmland and open space, including submitting applications for funding to purchase additional land. Committeeman Rizzuto thanked the fire, police, and EMT personnel and told us about an upcoming e-bike safety initiative that it will be done by Chief DeVito to educate families on rules and safe riding practices. So I already requested that the electrical bicycle safety poster be added to our website, and Dr. Garibay will be reaching out to him, and hopefully we'll have some, safety assemblies as well. Also, the Colts Neck Police and the Colts Neck PBA are excited to participate in the Central State Healthcare Foundation Mow for November. So they are sporting beards for fundraising to raise awareness for men's cancer programs and research at Central State. There's a link on Facebook to donate to their campaign. So please like the Colts Neck Township Police Department. The residents are invited to upcoming events, including the Historic Preservation event at Montrose School on December 7th, featuring Santa, music, and food. And then also that same weekend on December 6th and 7th, the Colts Neck Volunteer Fire Department presents Breakfast with Santa. So I'll remind the community as we go on. Mayor Rush shared that Laird's, the oldest distillery in the United States, is creating a museum and tasting room upon approvals. And the last thing is Colts Neck recently delivered 500 pounds of food to support Naval Weapons Station Earl, and residents are encouraged to continue contributing. Please drop off any food items by December 8th at the Colts Neck General Store. This is sponsored by DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution. And really, the meeting ended after many questions and comments, largely focused on affordable housing. Residents are strongly encouraged to listen to the discussion via live stream. I'm just picking a few things. There's a lot more. And the Township Committee is seeking residents interested in serving on local committees. If you're interested, you can complete the Citizen Leadership Forum on the Township website. Their next meeting will be held on Wednesday, December 10th at 7 p.m.
Great, that was a lot. Just to take note to the board, I requested Dr. Garibay put that little sub-bullet point, the Colts Neck 250th Anniversary Committee Report. Phyllis is going to be the liaison to that, And instead of making like an actual liaison position, since it's only going to be a short while, we're going to just continually put it underneath that bullet point. So if you want to continue with that
Yes.
report.
Okay, so the Colts Neck Township 250th Celebration Committee met on November 6th, and I wanted to share an update on the upcoming events and opportunities for our school to be involved. So the committee, it was purposely made of different town professionals, the recreation director, someone from the Colts Neck Historical Society, the Colts Neck Business Association, the Women's Club, the Senior Club, and a resident even who's involved in Revolutionary War reenactments, just to really get a great perspective. The first township event's going to be February 1st. That's our kickoff. Event 1 is February 22nd, 2026. So it's Happy Birthday George Washington Dinner. It's going to be at the Colts Neck Inn. It's a sit-down dinner with George Washington. There's going to be a reenactor, music, Laird, Apple Jacks cocktails, and more. It's going to be $100 per person. It's open to the public. The next event is not till May 6th, but it does involve the school. That's the only reason why I'm mentioning it now. It's the CNBA, the Business Association, the sponsored barn tour. So they are requesting approximately 5 school buses. They're thinking about 40 adults per bus. The numbers are to be determined. I already drafted a follow-up email to start working out the logistics and timing. And hopefully the district will be able to accommodate and also hopefully financially benefit. So Dr. Garibay is kind of waiting for me to get answers to certain questions, and then we'll be moving forward. Miscellaneous, the town plans to purchase 1776 flags, and I would love if the board could join that order so we can have these flags around all 3 school buildings. Oh, great. And then the committee would love to include our schools in the township celebration, and one suggestion is for our students to create a 2027 commemorative calendar for Colts Neck Recreation. So they'd work on it in 2026, and then it would be published for 2027. With each grade taking 1 month and designing a page around a patriotic theme. So approximately 1 winner per grade, along with a cover and back cover, again to be completed in 2026. So some ideas would be, artwork or poetry about American history, freedom, our Colts Neck community, artwork dealing some of our historic Colts Neck landmarks, photos of students participating in patriotic activities. So that's where we are. And then during our CAL meeting, I'll talk about some other ideas, but that's a good starting point for tonight.
Great, yeah, that's definitely a lot.
Mrs.
Covered a lot.
Just as a question, we'll be talking about this in the district level as well. Is the township committee going to be putting forth a contest, like the information to parents? Are they looking for us to design it? You know what? We just started talking about it. I'll get more information at the next time. This is actually being done through the Department of Recreation, the calendar. Oh, and the last thing is, sorry, one more thing. Monmouth County Library Programs has a guide for free educational events and activities connected to the America's 250th, and we will also be putting the link on the school website and across all our social media platforms. Again, these programs offer great learning opportunities for our students, and our next meeting is December 4th.
Great, excellent. Anybody want to comment or questions about anything Phyllis went over? Okay. We are going to move right into the Colts Neck Township Planning Board and Subcommittee. Mr. Scales and Mr. Walsh, whoever would want to take that.
Yep. There we go. Good. Cool. Yeah, so busy week with the planning board. I think most residents were aware of a erroneous text message that came out. It was intended to stir issues within the town versus the township committee, because there's a number of different developments that are going up. What occurred was the exact opposite, which I think what it did is it actually informed both parties of what the proposals of affordable housing and overdevelopment was versus what we've been told by the town. But it was a very successful meeting, as you attested to. There was a lot accomplished during that meeting. However, I updated our Board of Education Housing Impact Fact Sheet. We now have version 3 that's posted on our website. just wanted to alert some pretty alarming numbers, if you will let me indulge. What the text message spoke about was a development called the Wellspring development. This is a potential of 700 units. 700 units. The next one was Dutch Lane and Boundary Road, a proposal of 250 units. So if we apply the same math towards the Levana Square fact sheet that I had provided, what this will cause is a total over district capacity of 130 students. So as I've spoken before and been pretty adamant since I came on the board, current enrollment, I don't have the updated numbers for this year, but I believe about 1,016, if that sounds still familiar. Right now, max capacity at our schools are 1,302. What that capacity would entail is the reconfiguration and uprooting our students and our teachers by changing the classrooms, right? And that's only at 1,302. With this new developments, that if there is shovel in the ground, we will be at 1,431. Again, 130 over. So what I would recommend to our board, and what I'm recommending to our town council, is to declare a preemptive school capacity condition. This is a declaration of, we cannot take on this amount of students without a substantial financial injection into our town. More importantly, we cannot take on the safety for our students. And more importantly, I encourage our union, our local union, and the NJEA, which are very, very adamant about their advocacy for affordable housing and developments. What I would encourage them is to take a page out of the book in Middletown, New Jersey in 2002, which I've been very vocal about. My freshman year in 1998, my teachers went on strike because of overcapacity of our schools. I lost my freshman year. In 2002, there was, again, overcapacity at our schools in Middletown, and we couldn't fit our students, so we had to have essentially a trailer come in. We had a bubble come in. Our teachers went on strike again. I lost my senior year education. So I cannot stress this enough, that the state has imposed these restrictions that our town is doing as best as they possibly can, because we do have to conform to the law. But what I ask from an advocacy standpoint is, of course we will conform to the law. We do what we're told. We'll challenge as much as we can. But we need everyone within Colts Neck, because our way of life and the way that we educate our students will change dramatically. And we will have trailers all over the school property, and children will be going in and out, and there's erroneous safety concerns. So again, I'll leave it at that for the public to look. Again, go directly onto our website and look at the ad hoc affordable housing. It's called, I'll give you the exact name, it's the Colts Neck Board of Education Housing Impact Fact Sheet, Volume 3. Click on affordable housing, and you will see all the district stats, the most up-to-date that we know from the town. So that is the end of my report. I'll take any questions that anyone has.
Anybody have any?
Yeah, I'd just like to add the tax impact in this town. It's going to be incredible. 130 students, possibly, times 34,000. A significant tax increase for all our residents. Forced imposed by our state. This is ridiculous, really is. Forced housing in the community we all worked hard to move to for quality of life. I'm not against the people that move in, I'm not. But the forced imposition of forced housing in our beautiful town of Colts Neck is absurd. It's horrendous. Forced state mandate of housing. You go down 537, it's horrendous. Levana, it's an eyesore. Financial impact, we as a Board of Education, regardless, have to educate these kids and give them the best education we can. That's our responsibility. So it's nothing against the kids that come here. But I moved to this town for a reason. Open spaces, beautiful roads, horse farms. It's being ruined, taken away from us. I looked into suing the state. The first district in the state of New Jersey to sue. We got a legal opinion today. President Mayo.
Yes, I was going to actually do that during my advocacy, but I could not. I was at the school today, so I could not take the lawyer's phone call. So I appointed Mr. Walsh to speak with our legal counsel on my request to find out what legal recourse we can take. So if you want to report out, that's
Long
absolutely
story,
fine.
We can't. There's no case. Because we still have obligations of round 3. Now we're in round 4. Our town, I believe, Rob, has 130 credits left in round 3.
138 durational adjustment and 88 load
88
for
round
round 4.
4. So here we are. We still haven't satisfied round 3. Trying to figure out what we're going to do in the town, where it's going to be built, what kind of housing. And now we have round 4. So our township committee really has to have the planning, the foresight, be proactive and look and identify areas in the town. What type of housing does our town want? And we all had a couple of big meetings with planning board. Senior citizen housing. I'm a senior citizen. Maybe I want to stay in town. Military housing for veterans with disabilities. Group housing for autistic children, which we do have a lot of children in our school district. So the town really's got to really have a plan, a master plan, to get this round 4 finished in 10 years. We have up until 2035 to do this. Instead of going back and forth with different fractions of different committees, the township committee, the GOP fractured all over the place, I think the town really needs to come together and work together to come up with a really good plan of satisfying the affordable housing, but what the best suits our township. So
Okay.
we looked into the lawsuit, and basically, it's a dead end.
I'm sad to hear that, but we're not going to give up. We're going to keep trying whatever we can. So I appreciate you reporting
The
out.
point that Rob brought up, that email caused a lot of stir and ruckus in town, a lot of fighting back and forth. The township committee actually is trying to do the best they can with what they have, what to deal with affordable housing. I think the town needs to come together, the Board of Ed, the township committee, the planning board, work together as a whole and decide what's the best outcome for round 4 and 3.
Final thoughts, Mr. Scales? Okay. Thank you. All right. Moving into the Colts Neck Township seniors, Mr. Walsh, you could continue with that.
Boy, that's a follow-up, right?
Yeah.
I just want to wish the seniors a happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. We're going to extend invitation, Doctor, for our chorus and band. We have events at the school. They're open invitation for all the seniors out there to come and listen to our kids sing, and we have a great band. And so again, Doctor, I guess you put that on the website.
We send something directly
Please
to them.
extend an invitation to our president, Mr. Chabelle, that our seniors are welcome on our campus to enjoy our kids' performances.
If you like, Mr. Walsh, I know their meeting is every Wednesday. I could go in person and put out like an agenda for them. If you want to reach out to Mr. Chabelle, I certainly don't mind stopping in on the Wednesday.
I can try to get it before, maybe a little too late, but I think it'd be nice coming from you, Doctor.
Okay.
Invitation.
Perfect. All right. Moving on, we're going to go to the Naval Weapons Station Earl, our liaison, Mrs. Ramirez.
So no formal updates. We touched on the Purple Star schools, so I just wanted to thank Ida for our Naval Weapons Station Earl liaison for putting out the applications. It's such an honor. I know the whole board has already shared their sentiments, but I wanted to make sure that I did as well. Again, like I said, no other updates. I think you touched on everything already that went on since last meeting, so
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay, great. Thank you. Moving into my state and county school boards associates representative, we only have one thing. The New Jersey School Boards is doing their meeting December 2nd, 6 p.m. at Howell Middle School North. It will cover the 3 R's, training, the roles, responsibilities, and resources. If anybody wants to attend, registration is now open via your emails. Moving on, we added tonight the Advocacy and Government Relations Ad Hoc Committee. If everybody remembers, I was doing this about a year ago. I figured we would open it up since some things have arose since then. Mrs. Ramirez had, and you can, chime in anytime you want with this. Mrs. Ramirez had reached out to me probably about a week or so in regards to the Department of Health's proposed amendments, repeals, and new rules to the vaccination requirements in New Jersey. We discussed it about her drafting a position statement for our board. I told her, I gave her absolutely my support to do it. She drafted a position statement. She put it out to the full board. We had ample time to review it. We basically voted unanimously to put forth and make the deadline of, I think it was November 14th. Dr. Garibay helped us submit that position statement. During our action items, I'm going to have Mrs. Ramirez read the position statement for the public. And I just want to let you know we thank you for advocating for this particular item. I think it's very important that we hold our ground on our beliefs with these particular changes. I also requested that Dr. Garibay submitted to Robert F. Kennedy, the Department of Health, the New Jersey Department of Health, along with several other legislatures. So thank you so much for all the time. I know that took quite a number of hours to put through for us, so thank you so much. I want to go back to Mr. Walsh. I want to thank Mr. Walsh for initiating and expediting our brand new bus stop arm cameras, as I've repeated several times. We are pleased to hear this groundbreaking. This is groundbreaking for our district. We're also the first that I know of in Monmouth County to bring this to fruition, and our entire fleet of buses are fully equipped now. So I basically was talking to Dr. Garibay about this. I'd like to take this, initiative even further. We wanted to start, communications with our legislators to try to bring this, to the floor to get it passed as a law in our state. It's so important to have these tools that help save, children's lives and make the public aware that passing a red bus stop arm camera is illegal and you will be charged. And now we have the tools to catch people in our district doing it. I'm almost to the point where I want to actually take the video of people running our red light cameras and post it to our website. I think maybe as we get more citations on it, I think I'm going to vote to do that. I think people need to be shamed. It's disgusting that people blow through red light cameras on a school bus. Those of you who weren't here at the last meeting, Officer Tomeo gave us a presentation. He showed us a couple of fractions that were caught on camera. This person in a, what was the car? It was a blue Tesla. Yeah, Tesla. And you see the child walking right out into the street, and the car blows right past, inches away from this child that goes to this school. It was a disgrace. It was sickening to see, actually, and they really need to be shamed. It's just disgusting, to be honest with you. So I want to work with Dr. Garibay to, bring this forth, to our representatives and see where it can go. So I'm hoping we get support from the board so we can move forward with that. All right, so that concludes my advocacy report. We are going to give the floor to our superintendent, Dr. Garibay, for her weekly report. Thank you.
Thank you. You may have hear some repetitive things that were said, but
Yeah,
as this is our first RAM, this is the first time I get to speak about it as a superintendent and boast and be very proud of all the work that's done here. So first, I just want to say congratulations and much thanks and appreciation to our teachers, our students. The NJSLA field test has ended. So we get a little bit of a break, and then we start up again in the spring. But much thanks to Dr. Reynolds, her team, Mr. Petrillo, the admins, our testing coordinators, the school counselors, and most especially our students who showed up and really did their best in what they're doing. We appreciate their time and efforts for this. I also showed President Volpe that the Blue Ribbon School program is actually going to continue at the state level. They made an announcement, and they had nominees from the spring of last year. So it is going to be continuing at the state level, which is good news. That's part of the goal that we will continue to be working towards. I just also want to point out that under action item number 4 tonight, to be a recommendation for approval for an amended 25-26 school calendar. This was based on feedback that we had talked about regarding spring conferences, and especially through the parent advisory, this was brought up, and then bringing it to the administration and teachers and asking questions. The change on the calendar is to make February 25th, that Wednesday, a full day of regular day of school. So the only half day with afternoon and evening conferences will be the Thursday, the 26th, followed by the contractual half day for staff on the 27th. Okay, so that's what that part is. And then going on, so as we said, on Tuesday, November 11th, our community came together to honor Veterans Day in a manner that reflects both the traditional and historical significance of this important national observance. Veterans Day has grown into a day dedicated to honoring all American veterans, past and present, who have served our nation with courage, commitment, and sacrifice. Our schools approach this commemoration with an intentional focus on teaching students not only what we honor, but why we honor it. Tomorrow, students and staff at CRES and CRPS will come together for a joint school-wide meeting for a very special Veterans Day program designed specifically for our younger learners to experience the meaning of Veterans Day and all who we celebrate and honor. I want to extend my sincerest thanks and appreciation to our staff, administration, teachers who put much effort in preparing lessons and special events to commemorate Veterans Day. Our music departments support these events with patriotic performances, student speeches, students at the middle school write letters to our local veterans, their student artwork, and symbolic gestures of appreciation. I am very proud of how our staff and students approach this observance with respect, sincerity, and a commitment to honoring veterans in a way that is both educational and heartfelt. Our efforts reflect the district's dedication to fostering civic awareness, historical understanding, and gratitude for all who have served our country. Thank you to our teachers. Thank you to our board for allowing us to support these initiatives, and most importantly, thank you to our veterans for making Veterans Day recognition meaningful and coming to our schools to help support our students' learning for this most memorable day. Purple Star School designations. I am incredibly proud to announce again, for the many time, and I won't get tired of doing it, that Cedar Drive Middle School, Conover Road Elementary School, and Conover Road Primary School have each been officially designated as Purple Star Schools by the New Jersey Department of Education. This prestigious recognition is a testament of our district's steadfast commitment to supporting the unique needs of military-connected students and their families. It's been a few years in the making. We learned about it, and we are very proud of it. The Purple Star designation is awarded to schools that demonstrate exceptional dedication to creating welcoming, responsive, and inclusive environments for children whose parents or guardians serve in the armed forces. To earn this honor, schools must meet rigorous criteria, including establishing a dedicated military point of contact, providing transition supports for incoming and outgoing military-connected students, and engaging in school-wide activities and trainings that promote understanding and appreciation of military service. This recognition signifies far more than a checklist of things that we just do. It reflects our district's values. It affirms that our schools prioritize stability, compassion, and continuity for students who may experience frequent transitions, extended separations from loved ones, or other challenges connected to military life. It shows that we honor the sacrifices of our service members, not only through ceremonies, but through daily actions that ensure their children feel seen, supported, and valued. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the staff, administrators, students, and families of all three schools whose dedication made this achievement possible. I am especially grateful to Mrs. Ida West Jones, our Naval Weapons Station school liaison, Dr. Erica Reynolds, Mr. Jeremy Mercer, Ms. Mary Milano, Dr. Colin Rigby, Mr. James Osmond, and Mrs. Tricia Barr for the time and effort they contributed to the extensive application for each school. I would also like to thank our school counselors, Mrs. Helms, Mrs. Rousseau, Mrs. Riggleman, and Mrs. Groninger, as well as our teachers and support staff who really are the true leaders in supporting our military-connected students and families each and every day in their classrooms. The Colts Township School District is deeply proud to stand among the New Jersey Purple Star Schools, and we remain committed to serving military families with dignity and the care they deserve. I take a little pause there. I also want to congratulate, I know Mrs. Horowitz mentioned our color run. It was so much fun. It was our first turkey color run, and we had about 350 people who signed up and showed up to run, students, community members, parents, and it was a lot of fun. very colorful, but I certainly want to thank Mrs. Amato and Mrs. Ventries for organizing such a fun afternoon with our PTO and our district wellness committee for partnering together for such a great event for our children and for our community. It really was a lot of fun. That being said, I just want to conclude my superintendent's report noting that next week is Thanksgiving. And as a school community, it's a time for family, friends, loved ones to gather and to be grateful and to be present with them. We all get swept up in the busyness of the holiday and preparing and cleaning and all the things that happen, the invitations, who's coming, who's not coming, who's bringing what, who's not bringing what. Remember the spirit of it, which is gratitude and thanks and appreciation. And as the superintendent of schools, I want to extend my sincerest happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of the board members as well as the members of the Colts Neck community. Enjoy your families and be well. That concludes my superintendent's report.
Great. Thank you for those kind words, Dr. Garvey. Okay, we are going to move on. We have a couple of information items listed here. Everybody wants to take notice 1 and 2 of the information items. Once you have reviewed that, we are going to open up the floor to public comment at this time. If you'd like to make a public comment, please come up to the podium. You can state your name and address for the record. Dr. Garibay is going to fix the podium for us. Great, thank you. All right, if anybody would like to come up and speak at this time, they're more than welcome to do so. Oh, yeah, whoever. Yeah, you could form a line, whatever works. If you want to form an orderly line, that's fine. Yep, that's on, as long as the
Yeah, it's
green
on.
is on. Yep, I just need a name and address for the record.
Valentina Mendez, Marlboro, New Jersey. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Good evening. My name is Val Mendez. I'm here as a parent and not in any board capacity that I sit on. A parent who cares deeply about transparency, partnership, and the well-being of our children. I want to express my strong support for the Parental Bill of Rights being considered tonight. What I appreciate most about this is what is being presented is that it's not about politics. It's about restoring trust, strengthening communication, ensuring that parents and schools work together. Each section of this bill matters, and I'd like to briefly explain why. First, curriculum transparency. Knowing what our children are learning is the foundation of a healthy parent-school relationship. Parents shouldn't be surprised by content in a classroom, especially in today's world where sensitive and complex topics arise. Transparency empowers parents to have meaningful conversations at home, support learning, and feel confident that what's happening in school aligns with family values. When schools are open about curriculum, parents feel included rather than shut out, and that builds trust. Second, access to records and information. We are responsible for our children's education and well-being, legally, morally, and emotionally. Having clear, uncomplicated access to academic records, health logs, counseling information, and important school decisions ensures parents can make informed choices. No parent should ever have to chase answers about their own child. This guarantees that parents and guardians remain fully involved and fully aware. Third is for notification and consent for health or service changes. This is one of the most important pieces because nothing matters more than a child's physical, emotional, mental well-being. Parents must be notified promptly when there is a health concern, when interventions are being considered, or when a child expresses something significant about their identity or personal needs. Schools are partners, not replacements for parents. This section reinforces that communication must be honest, timely, and complete. Fourth, the right to opt out. Families come from different backgrounds, cultures, and belief systems, and that diversity is part of what makes a community strong. Giving parents the right to opt out of certain instructions, surveys, or content simply respects those differences. It prevents children from being forced into materials that conflict with sincerely held beliefs and ensures families retain the ability to guide their child's moral and developmental path. I'm almost done. Fifth, safety and orderly learning environment. Every parent deserves to send their child to school with the confidence that the environment is secure. When threats, bullying, or safety incidents occur, parents must be notified immediately and transparently. This builds accountability on all sides. 6, for privacy and protection of personal data. In a world where technology is everywhere and student data is constantly being collected, parents need reassurance that their child's information is safe. This section ensures that data won't be shared, sold, or mishandled, and that parents remain firmly in control of what is collected. That is a basic expectation in 2025, and this delivers it. And seventh, the right to be heard. This is about partnership. Parents should never feel like spectators in their own children's education. This guarantees opportunities for parents to speak, ask questions, visit the school, and participate meaningfully in the educational process. It promotes collaboration, communication, and accountability, which is exactly what strong school districts are built on. So taken together, these rights create a clear and respectful framework that protects children, empowers families, and strengthens the bond between home and school. And I want to thank this board for bringing this forward and for recognizing that when parents and schools work together, children thrive, and I strongly encourage you to continue leading by example.
Thank you, Mrs. Mendez. I appreciate your comments. Hi, how are you?
Hi there, good evening. My name is Lucas Manrique. I'm from Middlesex County. I'm here in professional capacity as a licensed associate counselor and a nationally certified counselor. It is my ethical responsibility as a therapist to provide testimony where I see the potential for harm. I am here to speak against the Parental Bill of Rights, which would operate in direct opposition of Policy 5756. 5756 was created to protect young people by preventing forced outing. Outing students without their consent is psychologically damaging, is discrimination, and is illegal in New Jersey. I implore you to recognize that as a body, it is your responsibility to protect every student and reinforce the rights protected by law. The Trevor Project found in 2024 that 40% of unhoused LGBTQ youth reported that they were kicked out or abandoned due to LGBTQ identity. 35% of youth who were currently homeless reported attempting death by suicide in the last year. I ask that tonight you follow the law and by doing so protect the safety of the children who see their schools as a safe place to begin to become themselves. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your respectful comments. We appreciate them.
Hi, good evening. My name is Sean Hyland. I'm from the New Jersey Family Policy Center in Warren, New Jersey. I'm here today on behalf of the hundreds of constituents that we have in Colts Neck and thousands of constituents in Monmouth County to say thank you for considering this common sense policy. Thank you for recognizing that the parents in Colts Neck genuinely want what's best for their children and that school policies should reflect that reality. Parents are not only taxpayers, they're the primary stakeholders in public education. They nurture, protect, and guide their children every day, and they deserve transparency. Let me be clear, parents are not the problem. It is deeply offensive to suggest that moms and dads should have no right to what curriculum is being taught, and no right to access student records, and no right to be notified of health-related decisions, and no right to opt out of intrusive surveys. It is both unethical and dangerous to advocate for that extreme position, yet sadly, some do. And I will add that your parental rights policy does not create rights. It simply recognizes and organizes the rights already protected under existing federal law. Keeping secrets from parents violates the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, the Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment, and your policy only complements the federal protections at the local level and aligns with H.R. 5 in the House of Representatives that passed in 2023 and many other similar bills right now in Trenton sponsored in our state legislature. And finally, let us consider this. 77% of New Jersey adults believe parents should be fully informed what's happening at school. That's not a fringe position. It's a mainstream conviction. And that's why no one runs for school board and no one runs for higher office saying they want to keep secrets from parents, because everyone knows that's wrong. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Hello, I'm Dr. Brian Kaufman. I live at 1538 Asbury Avenue, Asbury Park. Members of the board and concerned citizens and parents. I'm a psychologist from Asbury Park with expertise in adolescent development and human sexuality. I direct the New Jersey-based national nonprofit Rainbow Quest. We initially focused on simply providing activity resources for advisors of school gender and sexualities alliances. Our mission expanded beyond helping students connect respectfully with one another. We also aim to educate about historical and cross-cultural heroes who advanced humankind, LGBTQ+ role models. We rarely learn about these heroes' sexual orientation or gender identities in school, but every election cycle, We can't avoid being bombarded with angry, ignorant rhetoric that portrays LGBT community members as inferior, deviant, and less deserving of respect and love than their gender-conforming peers. The same public figures who aggressively spread this narrative simultaneously demand that these topics be excluded from schools. This leaves the public with a one-sided negative perception of our gender-diverse youth. Tonight, you advocate to inform parents when their child shows indicators of questioning or expressing their gender or sex in ways that challenge the last century's scientific facts. Consider for a moment that this same outdated science once asserted that normal women had no natural interest in sex and that those who did required medical treatment or involuntary commitment. They espoused women did not have any capacity for sexual pleasure at all. Let that sink in for a second before you continue to repeat what my generation was taught, that there were only two sexes and two genders. We have all learned a great deal since then, and now we know better. Our Rainbow Quest resources are no longer limited to Gay Straight Alliance meetings. We've earned the distinction of being a featured favorite for social and emotional learning by the Donors Choose organization. School districts determined to address bullying and student suicide have been ordering our materials for use by teachers in their classrooms. In the 5 years that Rainbow Quest resources have been in use nationwide, we have received not a single complaint from any parent or teacher, not even Moms for Liberty. Some districts adopt our resources for legal protection against lawsuits arising from a failure to protect all students, while others do so because they believe it better to have academic rather than emotional discussions about who gay people are and their positive contributions to the world. This is not grooming. It is assuring queer students that they deserve respect, that they are not as deviant or doomed to despair as some would have them believe. The lively classroom discussions that follow can give your students the confidence to trust you, their parents, educators, and friends, to have the important conversations that promote safe and cohesive communities when they are ready. Many in my generation wished we could have been honest with our parents about our sex and gender issues. Instead, we were forced into sham marriages, deep, dark closets, or graves, or compelled to live in the shadows and fringes of society. This is not congruent with what I read your mission statement to be about having successful, healthy students. Post-pandemic reductions in our collective social and emotional learning skills, add another obstacle to students being outed to their parents before these skills and facts are processed. Advancing this timeline before anyone is prepared could leave the indelible stain of blood on your hands. You can always choose to introduce additional conversations and lessons, but you cannot undo the physical and emotional trauma that results from ignorance. It's time to consider what is truly best for your students, not what is most comfortable, expedient, or convenient for parents and administrators who should know better. But how can you know better if you are unwilling to do your homework and learn? I strongly encourage this board and concerned parents to use one of our Rainbow Quest resources and then revisit these issues. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Caroline Monahan and I am here with Garden State Equality in protest of the Parents' Bill of Rights. As a New Jersey educator and Monmouth County resident, I care deeply about this proposed policy, and it's why I'm here speaking despite my extreme fear of public speaking and being here right now. So I'm 24 and I grew up in Middletown, and I have been in education for most of my working life. I was the coach of Sam's Beach Club swim team, and I have run a swim lesson business every summer since high school. You might know it, it's called CM Swim. If you do, hello. And I am familiar with the Colts Neck area because I have many clients in this town. When I was a student at St. James Elementary School in Red Bank, a group of parents advocated and succeeded in removing our sexual health education from our school's curriculum. So I never knew about sexual health, and I didn't even know what my period was when I got it. And this signaled to us that sexual health education was something taboo for our age, and it therefore became something political. And the older boys on my bus offered my best friend and I $20 to bring them the American Girl doll puberty book, which only became desirable when the removal of our education taught us that bodies and their changes, processes, diversity, and appearances were not neutral. The absence of sexual health education in my school only served to sexualize and politicize these topics, and especially my body as a young girl. By allowing parents to opt their students out of sexuality and sexual health education, it signals to the entire student body that these topics are polarizing. It does not have to be this way. Furthermore, as a current 5th grade science educator in the Plainfield School District, and as a local swim teacher, it deeply concerns me that parents are asserting a right to know the identities of teachers like me. My identity as a bisexual person has nothing to do with how I interact with students in the classroom or swimmers in the pool. If the issue is queer people being teachers and faculty, then the issue is homophobia, and that has no place in New Jersey's public school system. I also take issue with the overreaching nature of what parents are constituting as their rights. I believe that parents should be concerned with where their child is going to the bathroom in school if they are learning how to be potty trained, not if they're in high school. This is a gross infringement on students' privacy. And if you suspect that your child is going to a bathroom that differs from what you might suspect or expect, or if you're just curious about where they're going to the bathroom, I would say just talk to them. In high school, I told my parents everything, and my mom's here today. She is very politically different than me, so I can confirm that talking works, and I do not think that it is a right for parents to use school records in supplement of these types of conversations. In the end, parents will never be able to prevent their child from going up and making choices for themselves. School is a place where students should be able to develop values that might contradict with their parents. And I also just wanted to say that queer students and trans students and teachers like me will always exist. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you.
Larissa Garcia, Middlesex County.
Thank you.
And community organizer with Garden State Equality. So this testimony was written and is given on the behalf of Lauren Albrecht, our Senior Director of Advocacy and Organizing at Garden State Equality. Good evening, members of the Colts Neck Board of Education. It is unfortunate that we find ourselves here again at a Colts Neck Board of Education meeting with the need to speak up for your LGBTQ students, their parents, and your school staff. The last time that we were here, we were speaking about a proposed policy that would include the potential to out students against their will, and then again about the removal of a policy designed to help school staff comply with the law against discrimination. Several months ago, when I wrote to you that we had received word of your proposed Parents' Bill of Rights policy, Policy Committee Chairman Robert Scales responded that since I had not seen the policy, it was dishonest for me to register a complaint about it. Except that I am keenly aware of the movement associated with the disingenuously named Parents' Bill of Rights. I knew what it would say due to my professional experience and knowledge, and that coupled with the fact that I field regularly occurring calls from families in your district who are concerned by your board's actions, which is an unusual occurrence for community members from a specific school district to regularly reach out to us about your board's words, your board's votes, and what your board members post on social media about the tone and the climate that has been created for LGBTQ students in your schools by these words and actions. I've seen the policy now, and it was verbatim, the same as the other policies introduced across the country by right-wing extremists. Mr. Scales has confirmed in writing that this board understands that it is illegal to disclose a student's gender or identity against their will, and that the law stands, New Jersey's law against discrimination. New Jersey schools also have a legal obligation to provide inclusive curriculum, a law which also still stands. The proposed policy acknowledges that schools must follow New Jersey state law. So why introduce a policy that skirts the edges of laws that cannot be broken without penalty and creates gray areas for school staff who know the law but may feel pressured by the introduction of this policy by what is essentially their governing body to adhere to this? It begs the question, what is the end game here? What is the message that Colts Neck is trying to send to LGBTQ students and the school staff who serve them? Parents have always had rights. That has not changed nor been altered. And LGBTQ students have the right to be safe and supported at school so that they can focus on learning and just being kids. So just because you can introduce a policy like this, and you can, because the law still stands, absolutely does not mean you should. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Hi, my name is Mary Cozzolino. I'm from Freehold, New Jersey. I know that your job is not an easy one. I know that we all want active and engaged parents in our communities, in our schools, and in our homes. Not every home is the same. Not every student is protected. It's your job as a board to support and foster the education of the minors that you are entrusted with. I think we all need to take a second and think about that. When we do something like the Parents' Bill of Rights, which for the most part reiterates the law, we open a window where those folks who have other agendas, who want to force out kids, who want to push families in directions that they are not in right now, get to occupy that space. And our kids hear it. They may not be at this meeting, although there are a couple here. Kudos to you guys, by the way. But they hear it. They hear the rhetoric. They hear the tone. They see the social media posts. We can do better as adults. We really can. That's it.
Thank you for your comments. We're going to close public comment after this young lady there, just to make the public aware. That'll be the last speaker. Thank you.
Good evening. Allison Denoya, 4 Westminster Drive, Colts Neck. Hello, all. I would like to address some concerns regarding the recent discussions surrounding the Parents' Bill of Rights and the direction in which our board is currently focused. While I recognize that this document, which was rewritten with legal counsel and Dr. Garabay's guidance, seems well-intentioned and in compliance with legal standards, I believe that the time and resources spent on creating a new document could have been better utilized elsewhere. The discussion held on November 5th raised an important issue regarding parental rights to opt their children out of specific lessons such as those related to LGBTQ+ topics. However, this discussion does not align with the current legal framework and guidelines governing such matters. As I understand it, the current state and federal laws do not provide for blanket opt-out provisions on these topics, and the questions raised by Mr. Rignetta reflect a misunderstanding of these legal standards. This is a key example of where our focus on legal compliance and proper implementation of existing policies must take precedence. The Parents' Bill of Rights, as it stands, may not be necessary given the existing policies and legal frameworks already in place. Rather than creating new documents, I would urge the board to prioritize the work that truly needs to be done, such as transferring policies from Strauss-Esme to the district's school boards and ensuring that parents can easily find information they are looking for. We should be focused on the work of the board, which includes maintaining clarity, transparency, and efficiency in our existing policies, rather than micromanaging individual aspects of the district administration. I respectfully request that the board refrain from any unnecessary duplication of efforts and instead focus on updating and streamlining existing documents and policies to better serve our students, parents, and staff. Ensuring clarity and accessibility in our policies should be the primary goal, rather than creating new frameworks that may not add value. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Good evening. Thank you for all of you. I know your job is not an easy one. My name is Sue Henderson. I'm actually a resident of Asbury Park, but I'm the co-chair of an organization called GLSEN. But I'm also an educator. 39 years. I had it, 39 years right after COVID. But I don't stop. And the job is too important, especially for our LGBTQ+ students. I was a guidance counselor for 39 years. And I know, because I sat in that office, that parents had a Bill of Rights. That parents could come in and meet with me at any time. And I could give them records. FERPA, medical records. What are they studying? What are they not studying? Sometimes they even came and sat in classes. We don't encourage it, but sometimes that happened. But here's where the problem lies. That a lot of states, New Jersey and Florida, I can't even relate the two of us together, are carrying this to the extreme, where they want to out students. And I sat at the Middletown South meeting where they went through and they voted on this, and they were part of a civil lawsuit. And to me, they appealed, and to me, the only ones getting anything out of this are the lawyers, because it's a lot of money. We need to protect our students. I'm going to just tell you 2 stories of my experience why I'm so passionate about this. One, my first couple years at Ocean Township High School, I had a student come to me. He was gay. He was kicked out of his house. He had nowhere to live. A majority of that happens. Not everyone has a safe home. I loved hearing parents here talking about how they're here for their students. But as a professional and as a guidance counselor, you would already know that your student is gay because they would feel comfortable and they would already be out to you. And if they're hiding it, then there's a problem because your home is not safe. I had to find him a place to finish high school. Second story, didn't end up so well. We had a young lady who was gay, but culturally her home and her culture did not accept it. Her school was her only safe place. She even brought her prom date, who was another girl. She felt safe. Went to Brookdale for 1 year. Again, her family wasn't safe. Her home wasn't safe. She jumped in front of a train and killed herself. The suicide rate is off the roof. And if you install something like that, you will show your students in your district you do not support them. Don't go down that road and spend the lawyer fee. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Sophia London. I live in Keyport, New Jersey. I'm honestly terrified of public speaking. My heart is pounding right now. But I think I owe it to the students, the children, and the younger generations to say something today. I lived in fear my entire life of coming out as transgender. It wasn't until the age of 35 that I finally had the courage to do it, after multiple suicide attempts, including shooting myself. It is the younger generation and their bravery to come out and be themselves and to see people in schools and their peers accepting them. That's what gave me the courage to come out and be myself. I heard you mention Mr. Chabelle earlier. I grew up with him. I grew up with his family. They were a second family to me. His father was the closest thing I had to a father. I worked in their businesses, all of them. Even then, I would never in a million years have come out and told them that I was transgender. I owe it to these kids now to fight, because it is amazing that they had the support in these schools from their teachers, from their guidance counselors, and from their peers to be themselves. And to take that away from them, I know that all of you parents think that your kids would come out to you and they would tell you what's going on. But if they really felt comfortable, they would. But the problem is so many don't. And by supporting this Bill of Rights, you're taking something away from them. You're going to be hurting them. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, like I said, I'm so afraid of public speaking. I don't want to be out here. It's cold out. I want to be at home. But I owe it to them, and you owe it to them. You need to take care of their mental health, because if it wasn't for them and the support that they had that encouraged me to come out and be my true self, I probably wouldn't even be here right now. Please do not pass this Bill of Rights. You owe it to them. And like I said, you parents, I know that you think you're doing something for your kids. I could not imagine. The things that I went through as a kid were nothing. Like, if my parents came out here and tried to publicly speak and try to say, no, this isn't right, you were giving them a message that it is not safe to come out to them, to come out to you. This is not right. And I urge all of you not to pass this. We don't need kids in graves. We need kids graduating from your schools. I know you care about the kids. You're just looking at it all wrong. Please don't pass this.
Thank you for your comment. We'll take one more. Did anybody else want to speak? I don't want to cut anybody off, but I wanted to limit. It's okay. Just two more? Okay. After you two, like I said, I made a commitment that I would always listen to the public, but I also have 9 board members that we have to worry about their time as well.
I'll try and keep it
No,
brief
it's fine.
then.
Go ahead.
My name's Aldo Petruno. I live in Monmouth County, Marlboro. I've been following your board pretty closely, you know, everything you guys have been doing. And I got to be honest, it's, you know, from a resident, coming from a resident in a neighboring town, I'm a little bit impressed and a little bit jealous that I don't have the same thing going on like where I live. You know, I can understand everyone that came up here to speak tonight and their concerns. And I don't think, you know, I don't see a parental bill of rights as any way to harm a kid. All you're doing is reinforcing like the rights that parents have over their children, not students. That's their, you know, like we keep talking about students, but there's a difference between a teacher and their student and a parent and their child. Like at the end of the day, you know, I'm going to be with my kids for their whole life. And when they have an issue, I'm going to have to be the one that helps them through it, or, you know, whatever. You know, they go and they confide in their 7th grade teacher, and then they're not going to the parents don't find out about it. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you know, we're talking about young kids here. We're a K through 8. I think you guys are too.
This is a K through 8 district.
Right, you know, so we're talking about kids up to 12 years old, 13 years old. Like, if it was college, I could understand. But for kids that age, like, parents got to be involved. They can't help them if they don't know. So I just want to commend you guys.
All right, last speaker.
Danielle Blomo, Marlboro, New Jersey. I'm not here on behalf of any board that I sit on, just as an individual. I wanted to offer a little bit of a different perspective tonight. I'm actually a parent of 3 young children that will eventually be in Colts Neck High School with the children that are in Colts Neck schools right now. I don't see the Parental Bill of Rights as a policy, but instead an organization of already existing policies that will exacerbate and allow parents to be more involved in their children's education. I think that's a really beautiful thing. I think directing parents to how they can be a part of and walk alongside of administrators, teachers, staff, and the Board of Education is a tool that all parents of K through 8 children would find invaluable. I get a lot of parents, you know, just through different organizations that I'm on, asking, how do I get involved? How do I know? How do you know what your kids are learning? How do you know who to talk to? And putting it all in one place and directing parents that this is where you can find it is really just creative and very, very useful idea. And I really wanted to just say thank you for pointing parents to being involved in their children's education. And I look forward to the day where my children can go to school with the children of Colts Neck and those involved parents. I think they're going to do great things together. So thank you, guys.
Thank you for your comment. I just want to let the public know that all of us have heard all of you, and we understand it's difficult to speak in front of a crowd when you're not familiar with the district, but we did hear you, and I respect all of your viewpoints. At this time, we're going to close public comment. We are going to start our action items this evening. I'd like to get a motion to move action items 1 through 8. 1 through 8.
Motion.
Second.
All right, on these action items, anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
None.
Mr. Walsh?
Do you have
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. Okay, I thought you were putting your mic, okay. All right, if nobody has any questions or concerns, I'll take a roll call.
Mr. Ramirez has one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
No, it's right. Was I, did you want me?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I am so sorry. Thank you for
That's
calling
okay.
that to my attention. Okay, number 5 under the action items here. This is our position statement that I spoke during my advocacy report on the vaccine, the new proposed changes. Since Mrs. Ramirez took the time and to draft this, I'd like to give her the floor to present it to the district.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just wanted to update before I go ahead and read this resolution that as of today, there was no updates to these proposed changes. So nothing has been put in place as of right now. So hopefully that means they're heeding many public comments that came through as of last week and perhaps considering some changes or not moving forward with it. But
Great, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Ms. I did not know that. Thank you.
yes. But in an effort to be proactive and not reactive as a district, it is my honor to go ahead and read this. So this is a resolution submitted to the New Jersey Department of Health's proposed amendments, repeals, and the new rules at NJAC 8:57. And be it resolved that the Colts Neck Township Board of Education approve the following resolution. Whereas the Colts Neck Township Board of Education acknowledges the recent proposed amendments to NJAC 8:57 by the New Jersey Department of Health, which seek to expand the state's authority over vaccination requirements, reporting, and data collection. And whereas while these amendments currently focus on private educational institutions and child care centers, the board recognizes that such regulatory changes have the potential to influence future policy affecting all New Jersey families, including those in public schools. And whereas among the proposed provisions are measures that would permit private schools and child care centers to deny religious exemptions to vaccination, expand access to and require the reporting of private health information by educational institutions and non-medical personnel with penalties for noncompliance, and grant the Commissioner of Health the unilateral authority to suspend religious exemptions during declared emergencies. And whereas the Colts Neck Township Board of Education believes that these proposed changes, particularly those affecting religious exemptions and the collection and sharing of personal health data, raise significant concerns about their consistency with existing New Jersey law. And whereas under NJSA 26:1A-9.1, students are permitted exemptions from immunization requirements when such exemptions are based on bona fide religious beliefs. And the proposed amendments appear to conflict with these long-standing statutory protections, which safeguard religious liberty and parental rights. Whereas the board is equally concerned about provisions that would expand the reporting and accessibility of student health information, as granting broad access to sensitive medical data, particularly to individuals outside the medical field, possess potential risks to privacy, data security, and the trust between schools and families. Whereas families must have the confidence that their children's personal information will be handled responsibly, lawfully, and with respect for confidentiality. And whereas portions of the proposed language remain vague and open to interpretation, creating uncertainty for schools, families, and administrators, and introducing the risk of inconsistent implementation or potential infringement on individual rights. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Colts Neck Township Board of Education respectfully requests that the New Jersey Department of Health reconsider advancing these proposed amendments in their current form. And be it further resolved that the board urges the Department of Health to provide greater clarity, transparency, and justification for the necessity and scope of these proposed changes before moving forward. Be it further resolved that the board encourages the Department of Health to work collaboratively with local boards of education, parents, and community stakeholders to ensure that any future regulations balance public health objectives with the constitutional rights, religious freedoms, and privacy protections of New Jersey families. And be it finally resolved that the Colts Neck Township Board of Education reaffirms its commitment to protecting the rights of all families in its community and upholding the right of parents to make health decisions for their children consistent with their faith, conscience, and medical guidance. the board will continue to advocate vigorously to ensure that religious freedoms, privacy, and informed consent remain protected should these or similar provisions be extended to the public school system.
Excellent, Mrs. Ramirez. I appreciate all the work put into that, and this board fully supports this position statement. At this time, I'd like to get a roll call for those action items 1 through 8.
Yes, you may. Mrs. Cameron.
Yes.
Mrs. Horowitz.
Yes.
Mr. Arrico.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramirez.
Yes.
Mr. Rugnetta.
Yes.
Mr. Scales.
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe.
Yes.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carried.
Great, thank you. Moving on to buildings and ground safety and security, I need a motion, I'm sorry, there's nothing under there. We're going to move right into curriculum. Sorry about that. I need a motion to move items 1 through 4 under curriculum.
Motion?
Second.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments on those particular items? All right, seeing none, let's get a roll call for that.
Curriculum and instruction items 1 through 4. Mrs. Cameron.
Yes.
Mrs. Horowitz.
Yes.
Mr. Arrico.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramirez.
Yes.
Mr. Rugnetta.
Yes.
Mr. Scales.
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe.
Yes.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
The motion carried. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Moving on to finance, I need a motion to move items 1 through 3. 1 through 3.
Motion.
Second.
Can I get a roll call? Any questions or comments?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
one question on
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Scales.
number 2, FERD Service Financial Report. I've, because I can see what my child gets on a daily basis, it looks like there was a 20 to 25% increase in food prices year over year. Could we just provide a little bit more clarity on that, if that was included in the contract with them?
Yeah, I think we approved the contract in August. It was either late July or August. We can certainly, I can include what that contract was in my update this week so that we can revisit and look at it.
Yeah, please, thank you.
Of course.
All right, great. Anybody else? I'm sorry.
I just wanted to point out, you see under item number 3, withdrawal from impact aid. I know that Mr. Marasco, as our liaison for the communications for the National Association of Federally Impacted Schools, has been sending out some notifications regarding advocacy for maintaining that. And our district benefits greatly from impact aid provided through the federal government, as well as the state part of it as well. So as I know that we've had conversations and we've added the advocacy back up.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Marasco, myself, of Finance Committee, we'd like to have maybe some conversations about continuing to advocate at our district level for the funds that come in to help support our school district in such a significant manner.
Okay, sure,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay.
We'll move forward. All right, if anybody else, Okay, let's take a roll call on those, for those 3 items under
Finance
finance.
items 1 through 3. Mrs. Cameron.
Yes.
Mrs. Horowitz.
Yes.
Mr. Arrico.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramirez.
Yes.
Mr. Rugnetta.
Yes.
Mr. Scales.
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe.
Yes.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
The motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. I need a motion to move under policy 1 item.
Motion.
Motion.
Second?
Okay, any questions or comments on this particular item? We want to recognize Mr. Rugnetta.
I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out and talking, and speaking today, everyone in attendance, especially those who came from out of town. But I would just like to reiterate for those, for the parental notification that in regards to 5756, that was repealed a few years ago by a previous iteration of this board. 8 city members weren't on the board at the time. And so that portion of this and many other portions are already current policy, or including 5756 was already a repealed policy. So just want to inform everybody about that before we have this vote. So thank you.
Great. Anybody else? Yes, Mrs. Ramirez.
I just want to repeat something that I said last month when we passed this for a first read, and that is, I think if you've been paying attention, you've been coming to any of our meetings, you know I was critical and analyzed a lot of what was originally drafted in this Parental Bill of Rights, and I think I said then that I appreciate the time that was put into this. The council was legal on this, and so in its current form, on a substance level, this is really the same exact policy in Bill of Rights form that we put forth last year, where 4 of the members that are currently on this board weren't even part of, and I believe it unanimously passed for a first read. It wasn't until the current board that's coming, that came on in January of this year, came in, they wanted to take it off the table, and it did not pass for a second read. It was tabled, and then just never brought back up for discussion. And in its place, I think that this is what was drafted instead. So again, on a substance level, this is the same thing, and we didn't have the public coming out then. There wasn't, any concern then. Parents had an opportunity. That policy was put out. Parents knew it was in that for months and months and months. They were able to talk about it. I believe it was also in the, the PAC as well. And it was reviewed then, and there was no issue with it that was brought to the board, nor did we have any emails sent to the board or anything. So again, on a purely substance, there might be some nuances with language here and there, and I know language is very important. However, on a substance legal level, this is really the same thing. And I think that's very important to understand when we're looking at this from a legality lens. That's all. I just wanted to put that out there again for anyone that didn't hear last time I said that.
I appreciate you bringing that to the public's attention, Mrs. Ramirez. Anybody else? I'd like to make a statement about this and have it on record. Tonight, with the adoption of the Colts Neck Bill of Rights, this board makes our position unmistakably clear. Parental rights will remain at the forefront of every decision we make. Parents are the primary authority in their children's education, and this district will never sideline that role. Every child in Colts Neck will be protected, respected, and treated equally without exception. And we will not permit any sexual content, ideology, or identity to take priority over the rights of our families or the educational mission of our schools. No group's sexuality will override the values or rights of others, period. This board stands firm, united, and unwavering. Our commitment to academic excellence, child safety, and parental authority is absolute, and we will defend these principles without hesitation. I'd like to get a roll call on policy, the adoption of the Colts Neck Board of Education's Bill of Rights.
Yes. We do have a first and second, so with that, Mrs. Camera,
Yes, and thank you to Rob for drafting it.
Mrs. Horowitz,
Yes.
Mr. Arrico,
Yes.
Mrs. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rugnetta,
Yes.
Mr. Scales,
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe,
100% yes.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carried.
Okay, moving on to transportation. Can I get a motion to move the one item under transportation?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll take a roll call.
Transportation, Mrs. Camera,
Yes.
Mrs. Horowitz,
Yes.
Mr. Arrico,
Yes.
Mrs. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rugnetta,
Yes.
Mr. Scales,
Yes.
Mr. Scarpa, I'm sorry, Mrs. Volpe,
Yes,
pardon me,
that's okay.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carried.
All right, great. Under personnel, I need a motion to move, whoop, this is quite lengthy here, 1 through 14, thank you, 1 through 14. If we could have a motion to move those items.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Can I have a roll call? Oh, any questions? I'm sorry, I know that's quite lengthy. Anybody? Okay. Roll call.
Mrs. Horowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Arrico?
Yes.
Mrs. Ramirez?
Yes.
Mr. Rignetta?
I'm going to recuse for 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and yes to all the rest.
Thank you.
Great.
Mr. Scales?
Yes.
Mrs. Volpe?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carried.
Okay, great. That finalizes our action items. We're going to move on to our second public comment from the audience. If anybody would like to make any last-minute comments, you could get up, state your name and address for the record at this time.
Good evening, Mallory Reardon, 165 Laird Road. The very first board meeting that I ever attended, I want to say it was like 4 years ago. Ms. Volpe, you were there. You spoke. You were the only person. It was an empty room, and I think it was just you and I sitting on the audience. And you came up and spoke. You were, to be honest, you ripped into that board. You were, I think, really upset about, I think there might have been a teacher with a sign or a flag, something in their classroom that you felt was representing a political agenda in our school system.
I actually remember exactly this point, yes.
And as it was my first board meeting, I had no idea what to expect, and I thought, wow, she's really upset. And you spoke about a political agenda in the school system and how disappointed you were with that. And I feel like over the past 4 years, however many years it's been, we've just traded one political agenda for a different one. And I don't feel like that has served our community to the fullest. I volunteer at PTO events. I serve on our Historic Preservation Committee in town. I come to the PAC meetings. My daughter is in Girl Scouts. My son plays sports. Mr. Arrico, you could actually pay attention while I'm speaking. Thank you.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I heard what you're saying about your kids and your sports.
Yeah.
And everything. I'm listening 100%.
Okay.
And intently. Very intently. Go ahead.
Okay. It's just a little rude when you're talking and laughing while a tax-paying constituent is here. I've heard you say that you guys prefer to hear opinions from residents. That's who matters the most, and I am a resident.
Very good.
I'm at all these events, these places, and I don't ever hear parents asking for a Bill of Rights. That's not a concern. I hear parents that love the new safety features on the school buses. I hear parents that want their kids to buy fewer cookies in the cafeteria. I hear kids that, or I hear parents that are worried about their kids' test scores. Maybe there was learning loss during COVID, or, I think the science scores are still down even from what they were before COVID, or I think that might be an ongoing issue overall. And I really think that you guys, because you are of one pretty united mindset and you can pass things unanimously, like you have a really good opportunity to make great changes in this school on the issues that I hear about and that I know do matter to other parents. And it's not the Bill of Rights. I am tired of seeing Colts Neck Township in the Asbury Park press. I'm tired of seeing email blasts from both sides of the aisle asking for people to come here and speak or asking people to write in. Like, that's not what I want Colts Neck to be known for. We have a fantastic school system, and as a resident, I want changes to test scores and school safety, like maintaining school safety and the best food in the lunchrooms and the use of technology. I know that's what parents care about. That's not political, and those are what most parents would love to see. Thank you for your time.
Would you mind if I address you?
No, I don't mind at all.
First of all, I actually enjoy our conversations when we're off of the dais.
Right,
And I see you
right.
at social functions. I think you're a great mom. I appreciate you always participating in our board, and I know how much you care about your kids and the kids of this district. I just want to clarify back to that meeting that you spoke of, just to make it clear for the public why I was so angry. And I understand, the whole thing referring to political agendas. The reason why I was upset, and I remember that meeting like yesterday, there was a teacher in our district that was sporting a Black Lives Matter fist in an art room classroom here. And I was highly insulted knowing that my daughter, who is a daughter of my husband, Kevin Walsh, a 27-year police veteran in this district, would have to go to school and see something like that from an organization that, in my opinion, is a highly criminal and disgusting organization who put out a narrative against our police officers all over this country. So my anger was well-intended and I believed well-received by this community. So I do understand, me going against that political agenda, but I feel that the Bill of Rights here for parents is no comparison. Us 9 board members, and most of us by now coming all the time, that we love our kids so much. I mean, I don't even want to get emotional. I love my kids so much. And I refuse to have anybody tell me how to raise my daughter. And I don't want anybody in this district to have to feel that, LGBT communities, whether I respect them, have the right to come in our district and tell us how to govern. I won't stand for it. And like I said, I just wanted to clarify all of that to you and, make my voice heard on that particular item. But I do appreciate you always getting up and speaking.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, anybody else have any comments? All right. Seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. Let me just see. Yeah, I want to speak one more. I just have a couple of other things to address because I am who I am and I don't let things go easily. Garden State Equality put out a letter, which, wind up in my hands. And I want to read you the letter that they put out to the community or to people around the state to try to garnish support or people to come here and bully this board when making decisions that affect our community. And this is what they wrote. LGBTQ plus students in Colts Neck need your support at a Board of Education meeting on Wednesday, November 19th. The board intends to adopt policies which would signal to queer and trans youth that the Colts Neck School District is not safe for them, nor is it a place where students can learn about LGBTQ plus people's contributions to history and culture. After being thwarted in their attempts to implement forced outing policies, this is the next tactic in anti-equality activist playbook to erase LGBTQ people and history from schools. This makes showing up at this meeting even more important because we know safe schools save lives. I completely take offense to this because the person who wrote this, her name being Lauren Albrecht, she should be ashamed of herself. She doesn't even know, she didn't even clearly read what this policy is. It's basically a policy that brings all of the current policy that were passed by previous boards into one easy document to read. The fact that she's trying to garnish people from around the state to pin 9 of these board members as cruel, evil people is just disgusting to me, and she needs to be called out. This district is a predominantly conservative district, and all 9 of us represent the majority views in this town. And those majority views basically are they want academic excellence over anything. They want the safety of our kids over everything. Sexuality does not play a big role in schools, nor should it. I do not send my kid to this school to see what sexuality people are and whose sexuality supersedes the next child. I just don't agree with it. And I just want to make sure that the next time Lauren Albrecht solicits people to come to this district, she should see me face to face and not be a coward. That's number one. Number two, Mike Gottsman. He says, resist right-wing extremism in public schools. Okay, this gentleman played a big role in infiltrating the Marlborough School Board. And if anybody's following the Marlborough School Board, it's a complete shit show over there. They should be embarrassed about their conduct, what's going on in that district. And this man actually had a big role in flipping that board. And now look at what that district looks like. It's disgusting. He needs to be called out. If he's making statements, resist right-wing extremism, if keeping parents in the heart of our kids' education is right-wing extremism, I wear that title proudly. I'm just going to leave it at that. Lastly, our Monmouth County Board of Commissioners are known, Golden, Hanlon, have the nerve to represent themselves as conservative people in Monmouth County. They funded Garden State Equality $175,000 so this organization can come into our district and browbeat us over how we run our board. They should be ashamed of themselves. Colts Neck probably donates a lot of money to those people to run on a conservative ticket, and I plead with the public next time they make donations to the Shorn Golden crew to get their head examined and realize they're not conservatives. That'll be my final comment. We're going to move into executive session. It will be about 10 minutes. Live streaming will be terminated. There will no action will be taken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mrs. Cameron, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Are we starting
No,
new business?
please, yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So there's a lot in social media focusing on the Freehold Regional High School District about a situation involving students who posted openly anti-Semitic and violent messages and were then transferred to other schools, including Colts Neck High School. I do not know if there are other disciplines in place. I do believe our community deserves answers and safeguards. So tomorrow, November 20th, there is a Board of Education meeting at 7 p.m. at Colts Neck High School. The board will be moving into executive session, so really the public portion begins at 8, and I just encourage residents, it's all over social media, find out the facts, let's find out what's going on, and let's get involved.
Great, thank you for those comments. Anybody else have new business? No? No? Nobody else? Okay, I'm not going to repeat myself. We're going to move into executive session. If I could get a motion to do that at this time.
Motion.
Great, thank you for all who attended.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.